I do love mafia movies actually. I love mafia movies. Queen of South. Yeah, Teresa Mendoza. Because the girl, Teresa Mendoza, she is such a smart woman. I mean, she got into crime not because she wanted to get into crime, but she found herself there. That drug whole cartel thing dominated by men, and she was like a victim of circumstance. But she now turned around and showed the guys how it's done, and she hijacks that whole thing.
So that's why you like it.
I like the fact that she's fierce. I like the fact that and then she's not the violent one. She's not the one killing anyone. She's not the one. She tries to avoid killing and she tries to avoid the crime itself. But when you talk about running the business, she took over the business and sort of just showed me that you can actually run business. I'm not encouraging that business, but I'm just saying that the way that she, ran the business, took away all the bloody sins and all the, and then just tried to keep it, but still running the business, running the streets.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves mafia movies, and my favorite will have to be, I'm not sure if it's, I have two top mafia movies. Scarface. Scarface is all the way up there. Godfather.
Aye.
Godfather 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I have 4 movies on my list, it will be Godfather 1, 2, 3, Scarface.
Wow. Okay. Why? Like I know. First of all, I believe that he has the grit, he has the looks. He would give us the commitments that Scar's character needed because he did need a lot of commitments. But most importantly, Chidi is a very refined actor who understands diversity of characters and how to embody different, characters differently and to give it different interpretations. So I also know that he has this thuggery. There's a part of him that people didn't really get to know until he became Scar, and then people began to say, "Oh, so they forget that he's a Surulere boy." I've known Chidi since I've known him forever, and I knew him right from Surulere, and so I know that he has this street in him that is just really natural. It's not the one it's not a fake. He's really a Surulere boy. So that's the kind of, grit I was looking for in that character. I knew that he had that rough around the edge sort of personality. And then I love how he talks, how he slows his words. I felt like that would give Scar a certain unique personality.
For an actor, for every actor, the whole is always round or square. You have to fit in every which way, once you get your script. But first and foremost, the script was, it was just a fit, I read it, I knew that I couldn't let it go, so, and I haven't been around for a long time, 3 decades plus. I've read thousands and thousands of scripts, and not many times do you open up a script and you don't put it down till you get to the last page. And this is exactly what happened with Shantytown, And I read it till about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I called Amy back and I said, "Are you ready to do this? Because this is huge." Wow. She said, "We ready." I said, "Let's go do it." So that's it. It was a good script. So I think that was the first catch for me. The fact that it was a good script. And she had this ensemble cast. I said, "Okay, who do you have here? Who do you have here?" She reeled out the names. I said, "Okay, it's done." Nothing comes out effortlessly. It's a lot of work. It's always a lot of work to try to embody, a different personality, a different character, and it's a job, acting is a job. You have to go home, do your homework, do your research, find the little bits of nuances here and there, that help you piece together your character. And then when you're sure you have cooked the soup properly, you come and you serve the soup. And
as it hot.
As it hot.
Hot.
You know?
What?
So that's what we did. It's not like it wasn't easy, but it was hard work. You know, it took some time, took weeks and weeks to fully get into that character to a place where I was comfortable, you know, playing with it. We were on set for about
6 weeks.
about 6 weeks.
6 weeks. We did a bit of
It was
but
6
pre-production. We
weeks,
took
then
us
there
for
was
plus pre-production and
then there was
everything.
choreography.
Absolutely.
There was time for the fight
Yeah,
choreographies and
He actually had another name that was in Shantytown. I think Chichi changed the name to Shantytown because
I'm
my
sitting here
partner.
thinking about it and I'm saying,
What other name?
What name?
What
could you
other
have
name?
given to
I
this
mean, by the
movie?
time everything was fleshed out and everything, she just said Shantytown,
What
and
name could
it
you
was
have
just
given?
perfect. Yeah.
Shantytown. Really, not really. I mean, because the society is, you know, totally different societies, totally different of operating, totally different language. So, apart from just bad guys against good guys, that's where the similarity ends. You know, otherwise, street in Lagos is different from street in
New York
Napoli or anywhere else. You know, so I think to that extent, there are really no similarities in the two movies other than bad guys, good guys. Who will be in the movie with? I think for the longest time I fantasized about playing a twin with Will Smith, you know, some long lost twin in Africa, you know. So I think I fantasized about playing alongside opposite Will Smith, you know. I'll be the bad guy, he'll be the good guy. So I can beat him up, you know. And then aside that, fantastic actors. First person on my mind right now will be Denzel. You know, I just want to sit there and just be looking at his mouth as he's chopping the lines. So I want to work with Will Smith. I want to work alongside Denzel. And then, Fast and Furious. Let's go do something there with Vin Diesel. With The Rock, you know. But give me Denzel any day, give me Will Smith. I think I would like to be in that space.
I mean, Taraji, any day, any time. I would really love to work with her. Of course, Taraji P. Henson. I love me some Halle Berry. And I would love to work with Julia Roberts. I absolutely love her. I love Meryl Streep. I would give anything to just let me just do one scene. If I let me just like you said, let me just sit down and be looking at her. Just have our glasses like this and that's all.
Yeah, and you love to work with Chili.
I mean of course
Just
give me
say it,
Scar
just say it.
any day, anytime, alright? Absolutely. Before we started filming, I did a 3 weeks intensive training for just the fighting scenes.
Yeah, the fight choreography.
Yeah, the fight choreography was all real. It was really real because for me, I didn't want to have too much done by a double. I wanted it to be as authentic as organic as possible. So we had to do the training, and we did it for about 4 weeks.
Yeah, about 4 weeks.
Intensive trainings. Yeah, the guy that actually one of the fight choreographers was the one who trained me personally. Also trained Chidi a bit. Yeah. We did not like we didn't have doubles at all, but for me, I did 90% of my stunts myself. Well,
let me rephrase that. I think this has put her at the table with a permanent seat.
yes.
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 You like it?
I love it. Well, people always forget that. I mean, yes, I haven't done anything major in a while, but the kind of movie maker I've always wanted to be, I've always strived to be, has always been one with a difference, like trying to do something different, go where people dare to go, or just try to. I believe that Nollywood storytelling can actually be upgraded, be taken to the next level. I feel like we've danced around the same circle for too long, and I've always felt that every move we make towards trying to give Nollywood a stronger face in terms of what we do. If you're talking about talents, we have the talents. We have the skills already. We just need to take our technicality and our stories to the next level. So for me, I feel like every time I put a step forward, I will try to achieve that. I remember that about 10 years ago, I did the first and perhaps the only dance film we've done in Nigeria called I'll Take My Chances. And that was a proper dance film that we did. We brought in a choreographer from outside the country. I mean, it wasn't this scale, but at that point, it was still, it was one of the first films done by an actor to go to the cinema back in the day. I mean, I'm talking about 12, 13 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the first film that gave Brian Okwara, that was his debut. So I did that, and then I did Weekend Getaway right after that. So I always try to take it a notch higher. So for me as a filmmaker, Shantytown was not just because I just wanted to make a movie. I wanted to make an impact in the way that I told my story, in the way that we tell our stories. So the kind of filmmaker I'm trying to be, or that I think that I am, or I'm working towards, is one that would always do a film that would make a difference, that would be upgraded, that would, just to upgrade what we've been doing over the years and just to see how far can we go. Because I believe if we keep pushing the bars, especially now with the platforms, there's no reason why our stories should not be competing internationally. There's no reason why we should not be competing on the global stage. I mean, we have the platforms now. So my own contribution and my own quota to the industry would be that every time I come out to make a film, I have to make a bold statement that can make the world to know that, look, Nollywood is ready. We are here to stay, and we're ready to compete in the global market. Absolutely, we built the sets. We did everything like how. In fact, we not like we don't have skills in Nigeria, but we did have to bring in a lot of skills. For instance, you're talking about like the accident scenes. That we had some technical scenes that we couldn't find what we needed around, and we needed to shop outside, and that was because of the level of perfection we're trying to get. So of course we did build our sets. We didn't want to have sets. We had a set designer that already designed what the entire production would look like. And we sort of agreed to stick to that plan. Whatever it took, we needed to bring that to fruition because we all liked what we saw on paper. So to achieve Shantytown like that, we had to build the set so we could destroy it as everyone wanted to destroy it. And so we could make it, give it that feel that it had eventually. Talking about the money aspects, the money, of course.
You joke.
So it was really we didn't have a budget at some point because we kept on exceeding the budgets. But then we just couldn't stop. We did have financial challenges, obviously. Like I said, we started with a mindset of a certain budget. Although we knew that for what we wanted to achieve, that budget wouldn't work. But we started anyway. We had a lot of unforeseen issues. The budget kept expanding. Because that's the thing with production. You can't really tie yourself and say it has to be. You have to keep excess because anything can happen. So we would get a little frustrated. But one thing we did not do was, in spite of all that frustration, we didn't compromise on anything. And I think that's the excellence that is Shantytown today. Because a lot of times we could have cut corners just to make things easier, just to make, just reduce the pressure. And then that would have just really showed in the film eventually. But we sort of, at some point where we couldn't do it again, where we felt like we needed help, we got someone to help. Everything we did was teamwork, but I did quite a significant and very amount of the casting. So yeah, of course, my partner, the director, we did. People brought in names, but I did some of the major castings. You know me, I make clothes as well. Secret of April, we made some of the clothes. Medley did one or two things. Tiana did some things. Tiana did a lot she literally did all of Shafi's styling. We sort of just we scouted for things everywhere. For productions to succeed to that level, you just need the height of professionals, people who are really good at what they do. And then so you see that every department you put in the best hands, the best hands. It makes it teamwork and it makes it easier. So with Shantytown, our team was really solid. We were really, really blessed with the right team from the handlers, the showrunners. We had mostly females as showrunners, but they gave us such a seamless set. Like everybody just knew what, and everybody had this hunger and passion. I think what happened was immediately everybody got the script. People just fell in love with the script individually. And when you love something and you put in your everything into it because you love the thing and then you believe in it. And as all they kept saying to us was, can you provide us all we need? As long as you give us all we need, we will give you an amazing job. And everybody, there's not one singular department that you would look at and be like, okay, this person didn't live up to expectations. Everybody came correct.
Hello, Netflix.
Are we expecting a season?
Are we expecting a season?
Hello. Hello, Netflix. Okay, so I'm calling from Azuka's show, and she's asking to know if there's going to be a season 2. Hello, did you hang up? They say they want to see more.
They want more. They want more. No, it doesn't. It looks like it takes it because when we watch those things, we wish that this was happening so far away from us. But no, it's happening today.
Now.
If you've seen the videos going around, you see people actually doing gang wars on the streets of Lagos for election purposes. Shantytown is here with us today. So by many other names called, we just chose Shantytown. I think can never is not the thing. I think we're coming to a place where we need, more of women taking their own destinies
into their hands.
So the society is more of a patriarchal society. The men are sort of running it like that. Making the women think, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. But that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it should be. So we need that to change. Unfortunately for now, you can see, look at women even fighting for 30% affirmation. They are fighting to say, okay, in government, let us have representation for women. It's a big deal. Why? Why is it a big deal? So if you cannot change at that level, then there's a long way to go. So let's start by getting women the positions that they
deserve in government.
Positions of authority to influence policies that affect them. You even have appointments to women parastatals run by men in Nigeria. Why should things like that be happening? So it's the men that are controlling that. The women need to stand up and change that.
Well, yeah, I think that basically one of the things that sticks out to me in Shantytown is, before we started filming, I did have to go to some of the shanties, in quote, just to see how these women live their lives and what really, just speak to a few of them to see. There's one just down the road after Jack on the. There's one there, yeah. I went to that one. There's one other one, that we went to. So I got speaking to a few of them, and you realize that what Shantytown is showing is telling us is not so far-fetched. Most of these girls are not there out of their own free will. Most of them are most of them are tricked and brought into this kind of lifestyles. Most of them are there out of really extreme circumstances. Most of them are there because of their parents. Most of them are trafficked. Most of them are sold. Absolutely, most of them are sold. So it's modern day slavery, Most of them, some of them, the mothers at home think that maybe their kids are working as waiters in Lagos and everything, not knowing that this is what they're doing. And then they've been threatened to never, tell that to their parent. And so there's a lot going on that is just, it's something that I wanted Nigerian parents to also come to that awareness, to understand that you just don't allow your kid to go somewhere because they say They're taking us for greener to go look for greener pastures. Most of these people, you never hear from them again. Most of them, their body parts have been mutilated. Sometimes people disappear, and you don't know, you don't get to hear anything about their whereabouts. There is a ring of human organs, organ harvesting that is thriving a lot in Nigeria today. You know, so these are all the little things that Shantytown is trying to expose. That I just feel like if people have that awareness that this kind of things are happening, it would help people be more careful, be more cautious of where they go to, who they talk to, and what they do. Because this line of business is up and running. But because we're not directly involved, or you don't know anybody that is directly affected by this, you just don't know. But people are disappearing every day, and nobody can attest to where they are. That's just it for that part. It's just to shed light on this business, is the fact that these ills are going on in our society, and nobody's doing anything about it.
I mean, there's no room for violence, you know, under any situation, under any circumstance, domestic or otherwise. There's no need for anybody to be putting their hands on anybody else. Especially, this is a rampant problem with the men folk. You know, I mean, it goes both ways. There are women who are abusive, you know, to their partners and their spouses and husbands. But I think it's more, it's a bigger problem on the male side. But it's not an easy problem to fix. You know, it's a deep-rooted problem. It's like I say again, the way our society operates, we need to find ourselves in a situation where people, you know, are rated equally. You know, people are respected as human beings, not for gender purposes, you know. So even in the society that we have women who even enable that kind of treatment. I mean, if you have a son and your son is told that men don't cry, men don't show their emotions, men are supposed to be strong, why are you behaving like a woman, why are you crying like a woman? All of these things are programming. You know, you are programming the mindset of the boy, and this boy is going to become an abusive man. You know, so it starts from the basics. You know, starts from the basics.
It goes up with that sense of superiority.
The woman's place is not in the kitchen. The woman's place is not to take care of you and clean up
the other
after
room.
you. Or the woman's place is not only in the other room. You know, so if a woman has a place in the other room, a man has a place in the other room too. You know, so all of these things, they're all interlinked one way or the other, you know. And you cannot give what you don't have. So from training, from inception, the boys have to be groomed to be men. Otherwise, we're just going to have all of these monsters running around the place.
What about I take the Bentley and not go back?
It's a ramen.
Because once a beater you'll always get beaten.
That's right.
So I could take the Bentley and then tomorrow I don't pick your call. I say, yeah, sorry, it will not happen again.
But that will not lead to street beating.
The truth is, I don't attract gangsters. That's, to be honest. I can't stand irresponsible men. I have nothing to do with them.
What I always say is, you know, like I said, first, there's no reason for any kind of violence at all. But I say, if for any reason at all, there are 1,000,001 reasons, one man is so upset that he touched you, that's his first and last warning. Because you guys are in love and we don't know the things happening there. First and last warning. A second time, there is no arbitration, there is no no, that second time is your judgment day. You give him judgment, you pack your things, you move. You leave so you can leave. Okay? That's it. You leave so you can leave.
I mean, so many people, we've all been, you have to run. And there's no shame in running. If you want to stay alive, pack your bags and go. It's only somebody who's alive that can be with a man, right?
Yep, that's right.
Because he can strangle you one night, or just. You see, the thing about violence is so funny. I don't think some people who pass on during domestic violence intended for that to happen. But you see, the thing about human life is it's so delicate. One blow in the wrong place, one kick in the wrong place, one punch in the wrong, or you fall down, you hit your head. That's it, and then every other thing is. I promise you, your sister or your friend or.
So, I mean, like I
Somebody
said,
else.
because they allow us to use the word mistake, unintentional, those kind of things, let's just respect English language. So, let's say that first time,
Was a mistake.
mistake, unintentional, unintended, not what you think. Second time, no excuse. Attempt at second time, no excuse. That's my take.
Who is even complete? Is there really anyone who is complete? I think if you feel like you're complete within yourself, if you have the conviction in your heart that you have achieved or you have gotten to the peak of your life or your life is beautiful and you think that it's complete, then you're complete. I don't think there's anything that measures who's complete. Is that?
I mean, it's relative.
It's relative, yes.
It's all
And what is complete
relative.
to you might not be complete
Because you
to
don't
you.
even have to have achieved what you want to be complete. Just the thought in your mind that you know where you're going.
Some
and
people
you're
are
on the
very
path
content with
going
where
there,
they are, with
know?
whether they've achieved or not.
So,
They're just good, So for me, it's relative. One, two, it's in your heart, in your peace of mind,
be comfortable in your
you're
skin.
comfortable in your skin. Yeah.
Know yourself, know who you are.
I don't think marriage validates even the man, not just the woman.
For me, again, that comes back to the society that we're in. It's the society that gives it that level of importance. And it goes again to how they started with treating women.
Women, right.
Because if you make women's place in the kitchen and then you make the woman only aspire to get married before she can feel fulfilled
or complete.
Then that's what we're getting.
And that's why even when they're dying, they will stay there because how will they come out and look
they
like
don't want to be,
they don't want to not be married.
So it's overrated, the whole thing is
I mean, we're happy for those who found joy, who found good marriages. I mean, we're all happy for them.
Not that. But just saying, if you're in one that doesn't feel good for you, it doesn't feel good. Then don't get beat up. Don't get beat up in it. That's it.
Because your peace of mind and your happiness is all that really matters. It's not really about you, what you make anybody else feel or think of you. It's about how you feel about yourself. I mean, for me, my own happiness is the most important thing to me.
So if the guy starts out like Femi Fernandez and ends up like Scar, pack your bag.
Why would you wait for it to end up like Scar? If he starts to show you sign of a Colorado, before he would get to a Scar level.
You see,
because if you get to a Scar level, you're dead.
You don't die with that.
You can't be alive. You can't exist with Scar in the same space as no. Keep it within the Femi Fernandez's circle. And please don't even. What about people that are that have the likes of Chief Fernandez as husbands? But because he's so well to do and it makes everything rosy, and they stay there. So they choose the comfort of what is available over the comfort of. Or sometimes some women even get used to and begin to enjoy that kind of treatment.
Yes, and then you start getting Stockholm syndrome, where you get attracted to your oppressor.
Jesus Christ, Holy Ghost fire.
Yes, you see? So you're even afraid to be taken away from your oppressor. Then you start making excuses. You wear big dark shades like this. Mimi, what happened to your eyes? It's the door. I don't hit the door. Okay, you know, punch now. Better.
Or they will send a love bite.
See that?
After you're punching, I said, don't worry, it's just it's love
sure
punch.
Okay? No, I'm good. Perfectly good. No, you're not.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, you will die.
So
So, I mean,
bottom line is one for your life.
Say no to domestic
Say no
violence.
to domestic violence. Say no to any kind of violence at all. And another thing that the Shantytown sheds light on, the little boys, when like you said something that is very key here. How you bring up these boys, how they bring up these kids, what kind of environment they grow up in. We're dealing with a lot of political thuggery these days. A lot of kidnappers and people who don't have human feelings, human sympathy. But this starts from childhood, from the environment where these children grow around. Like you see those rat boys, they're giving them guns and teaching them how to shoot. Those ones can't have any human feelings.
No, they can't. That's how they're programmed. They've
That's how
already
they,
been programmed like that.
yeah, they program them from when they're small, so they grow up to become. There's no kind of rehabilitation for those kind of ones because that's all they've known all their lives is violence, is drawing blood, is so they don't
And for a
feel.
lot of
They're
them,
very unfeeling.
no parental care.
Absolutely,
So
no
without
parental
any
care.
parental care,
Yeah, I mean that's
for
where they are.
instance,
That is their environment. That's
without,
all that is happening
without
there.
parental care, you end up on the streets.
Right.
You know, when you end up on the street starts to cater for you.
Right.
When street is catering for you, street expects something
From you,
The
right?
street don't give you nothing
For
for
free.
So you end up with a scar or a scar wannabe who gets what he's giving to you because he has to rob some other people or do some shady deals.
And carries you along
And
eventually.
you don't get free meals, so you have to come along and earn
do
your
some
meal.
work.
You know, so it's just
And that's why the society is getting like it's so filled with people, and you wonder like we don't have human feelings anymore. We don't have compassion for each other.
right.
There's no love. There's no human compassion. You know how some people are beheading people, just doing things.
because we're glorifying the wrong
Yeah.
things, you know, because people want success at
Express,
any,
and they want it express.
Yes, they want it now. They want it at any cost,
Oh, especially
by
this
any
generation.
means, you know, possible. So, so hard work doesn't pay anymore. You know, you see people who work hard, who do their regular 9 to 5, who put in the work. Nobody glorifies them. But you see somebody drops from nowhere. He's chief today. He's chairman
Just come and
tomorrow.
do-
Gets a convoy of cars. Nobody asks any questions. And he's the big boy. He gets a front chair in the church, and everybody is hailing him. And then he goes from there to government. You know. So if you send a thief to the seat of government,
What do you expect?
You get a bigger thief, you know. So,
And all his followers, everybody, you have to be a thief to be on that team.
That's right. You know,
It's crazy.
Because, I mean, you're all dependent on him.
Absolutely, and you have to live like your master, because I mean he's the leader.
So it's crazy. So they keep you suppressed and oppressed just so that you don't want more. You don't want better.
Or you don't
for
demand
yourself.
for more.
You don't demand for more. You don't demand for better.
Because
So
you don't even know any better
you're
anyway.
just a slave. Yes. You know?
Sad.
So if they give you small borehole like this, you'll be very happy. You know, when taps should be running everywhere. You know, morning till night. That kind
That's
of
real oppression.
That's oppression, man.
I'm not going to dim my light for you to shine. I'm not going to lower my standards for you to shine. You know, it's a level playing ground, man. We are in a courtroom, everybody has the time to just put out your best foot. I put out my best foot. Whoever wins, that's it. But I'm not going to lower my standards for anybody else, and I'm not going to dim my light for anyone else to shine.
And people generally should want better. You know, you should always want better for yourself. Advance yourself, develop yourself, you know. So nobody's going to do it for you.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter at what level you are in the society. First, tell yourself that I want better for myself. Then if I want better for myself, what does better mean? You know, once you define better for yourself, then you know exactly what you're looking for. Because I can tell you what better is. You know what better is for you. So once you decide what better is for you, then you know exactly what you are looking for. I know what better is for myself. I go after it on a daily, you know. So you should do the same. Forget the oppressors. They need to keep you oppressed so that you keep hanging on to them, and then they keep growing while you keep suffering. You need to want for yourself. And one of the ways to do that is go get PVC, my brother. So that, you know, go get PVC.
Yep.
So if somebody is telling you, singing songs to you, you know, that suit what you want for your life, you gotta use your PVC and approve that message.
Absolutely.
You know.
For me, I just think that for Nigerians, especially where we are today, it's so important. All those people that say, oh, they want to sit on the fence, they don't think they want to identify with anyone. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but it is important because that is the rights that you have to criticize the government. If you do not vote, you do not have a right to say the government is bad. That card, that PVC, and that vote gives you that stamp of authority to demand for things to change, to demand answers to questions, or to demand the country be run a certain way. But without that, you don't have any right to complain. So that one vote is all you have. Make it loud, and make the best decision. There's so much noise going on the streets. Don't be distracted. Vote wisely.